Hello friends, I am Rahul Gupta from Startwithwhy. So again we are going to discuss one more interesting topic that is asked in an interview. What is your greatest weakness? Seriously? Weakness? When first time I heard this question in my interview, I got surprised. Why they are asking the weakness question in the interview? They should be asking about my strength, how can I work, correct? All those things. But that's what they are asking. So now this video is be discussing about how to answer this question in the interview. So stay tuned till last, and I will be talking about that what is the best way to tell the answer of this. And obviously I will tell my sample examples for this. So stay tuned. So let's not waste the time. Let's move on. So again in the same format. So we will be discussing the first one, what the interviewer panel is actually looking for through this question. And the second time we will discuss what are your common mistakes. Then we'll be discussing why the interviewer panel is actually asking this question. What is the thought process they have? And the fourth one, the secret recipe that has worked for me. Okay. So let's move on one by one, all these points. So the first one, which is what the interviewer panel is actually looking for through this question. Okay. So generally whatever they say and whatever they mean, it is an English phrase which is different. So we need to understand the connotation behind that. Okay. So let's understand when they say what are your weakness, they are actually asking, are you aware of your weaknesses? That is the first thing. And do you have any associated plan to convert them into the strength? That is the question they are actually asking you. Okay. When they ask the what are your weaknesses. So let's understand what are the common mistake generally people does. So the first mistake, that is the common mistake generally people does, they try to tell their strength, okay, one of the strength as their weakness. So please don't do that. The question is why? Because everyone know like that this is the strategy, this is the trick everyone is playing. So they are already aware of that. You know what is the thought process, you have read somewhere, and you are not actually truly telling your weakness. So don't do that kind of mistake, which I have also done. So first, and another thing, sometimes few people say, I don't have any weakness. Okay, so don't make yourself as a god. Okay, that is the first thing. Because we are human being, we always have few weaknesses. Okay, we have few strength, we have a few weaknesses. So you need to confront them. Yes, you have a weakness, and don't say that I don't have any weakness. I am the perfectionist. Correct? That is not gonna work. That is will go against basically you. So another weakness is that weakness that can conclude illegality. What is the meaning of illegality? Like for an example, in one of the interview, one person told that I am very good particular, or I am very particular about my looks. So generally whenever I drive my bike or any kind of two-wheeler, I don't put a helmets over my head. So this is basically can go against you, because putting a helmet, correct, in any country is basically for your safety, and there are rules associated with that. So even after knowing there is a rule, you are actually breaking the rule. So you are doing the illegal work, in simple words. That can go against you also, because down the line when you come on board, you might be knowing that this is a correct, but you are breaking that. So that can go in the negative point. So don't share any kind of that incidents which can conclude the illegality. Okay. The third thing is, don't tell any kind of weakness that can affect your position. For an example, you should not tell that I have I find difficult in decision making. I find any kind of cognitive thing. You should not tell as your weakness, because that can affect the position that you are applying for. Okay, so we should be very mindful of. Another thing, discuss insensitivity as your weakness. So every company has the policy that they will not be tolerating any kind of gender bias, any kind of insensitivity towards any community, any race, correct? So you should not tell anything, okay, I don't like those kind of people, okay, I have a particular mentality about those kind of minority groups. Okay, so please don't bring that kind of thing in the interview. Now the next one is, don't discuss any kind of addiction. Even though you have, don't discuss them. Don't say that my biggest weakness, I am the very heavily drinker. Okay, I drink a lot. or I am the chain smoker. Don't say like that, okay, because that puts a negative impression. Now the another thing is like, don't discuss any family weaknesses. So don't start there the family drama that my wife is fighting with the mother, correct, and this is happening at this. So don't bring the family drama there. Don't discuss any kind of family weaknesses in the interview. Those, okay, so because the weakness that you need to discuss should be pertinent to the interview, okay, that you are applying for. We will discuss that how to answer that also down the line. Okay, so now let's move on to the third part. Okay, so which is nothing but why interviewer panel ask this question at a first place. Okay, what is their thought process, why they are asking this question. So there are three basic reasons behind that. The first reason is they want to know, are you self-aware of your weakness? Because we don't understand or we don't know our weaknesses most of the time. So that is the first step. Are you self-aware of that? Second, are you brave enough to tell that you have a weakness? Because generally we tell our strength, we tell our good part, okay, we don't tell our bad part in the society. So are you brave enough? It shows like you have the courage, okay, to basically tell your weaknesses. And the third part is, are you ready to improve, or do you have a plan? Okay, have you ever thought basically to improve that? Okay, so that is the basically three different thoughts process that every interviewer panel has in their mind when they ask this question. Okay, so now let's see secret recipe that has worked for me, for which you were waiting for. So let's understand what is that. So it's a very simple. So I break down into only two steps, the first step and the second step. What is the first step? So when we talk about first step, confession to yourself. Okay, what is the meaning of confession is, you have to prepare an honest weakness. Okay, it should not be you have read from internet, it should not be that you have read on some YouTube channel, it should not be read from everywhere or you have made. It should be your honest weakness, but it should not impact the position that you have applied for, correct? So we'll discuss down the line that how you can figure that out, what is your honest weaknesses. Okay, and the second one is you have to do the recovery plan for that. Recovery means backup with an evidence. So you need to create a plan that how you are trying to improve that weakness and what is the plan. So these are the two things. The first is confession. Understand what is your weakness that doesn't affect your position. Second, how you can basically improve that weakness by having the proper plan in place. So these are the two simple steps, correct? So now let's understand the how will you do basically find your true weakness that does not hamper, okay, your job position. Okay, so let's discuss what is that, how can you do that. So the first one we call is the uncontrollable weakness that can be corrected. So there may be few uncontrollable weakness you might have. Just for an example, you might say that dear sir or ma'am, I have a very like a uncontrollable weakness called playing a video games every day 2 to 3 hours. So and I think like I can utilize my time in a much more better way. Okay, so that is my one of the weakness, that I keep watching lot more or I keep playing lot more video games. Okay, so what is the correction plan? Okay, correction plan you can think of like, I have told my wife that if, or my kids, that if I play more than half an hour, correct, take the mobile from me or take the laptop from me, or start reminding me that done, you have taken a vow that you will not play. That is a one measure basically, and slowly I am seeing the improvement and I can further improve upon. Then you can also tell that whenever I watch any kind of series, nowadays there are so many series are coming, Netflix, Amazon Prime, correct? So whenever I watch any series, I do the sleepless night. I watch till it finishes. So I have stopped watching it. Instead of that, I watch a small movie which is 2.5 hours, or I watch a small some comedy play or something like that, you can tell. So these are just an example. You can make whatever you can think of, it should be true to yourself. Okay. Second, you can tell that, okay, I am a little bit of a workaholic person. Okay, so workaholic means like you are not able to balance your work life. Okay, so that is basically like one of the biggest problem. So you can say, okay, now I've started working on it. I consciously stop my work after certain interval of time, and then I start the next day, or I plan accordingly. Okay, so that's I have started doing, and I am seeing a little improvement, and down the line I will see the greater fruit out of it. Third thing you can tell about the emotional part of it. Okay, what are the emotional? You can tell, okay, if you are an introvert person, okay, then you can say that this is my one of the weakness. I cannot speak too much. I doesn't open with the people. I feel little shy. Okay, so what I have done now to improve this, that every weekend basically I go to, let's say, my clubhouse, or I have joined some sort of a club where I tell my thoughts, and this I am doing from the last 2 months, and I have seen a significant improvement in myself. So I am now able to express my thoughts in a much better way. Submissive means you are saying everything to yes. Whatever comes to you, you are saying yes. Okay, so that is also one of the weakness. Sometimes you take a lot more work in your plate than you can actually deliver, because you don't have the habit to say no. So that means you can say, okay, before anyone gives me the new things, first I say, okay, give me some time. I will let you know whether I am able to do or not. Okay, or how much time I will take. So that is basically like I'm going in the improvement side. So this is one of the reason that you can make. Another thing is called the artistic expression. Okay, like for an example, like the engineers generally do a lot more sketching, drawing, correct, these kind of things. So whenever you are explaining to your, let's say, junior, whenever you make any drawing, it looks like, oh my god, such a bad drawing you are making, correct. So sometimes I feel, okay, this is not good, I should improve upon. Okay, so this is my one of the weakness. So what I have done, I have started taking the little sketching classes. Okay, I have started consciously drawing few of the drawings from my hand in my free time. So that's what I can improve upon. You can similarly do for singing, writing, dancing, whatever the any artistic expression that you think as your weakness and you can improve upon. Last thing is called a discipline. In this discipline, you can tell many items like a diet management. Okay, so like I am not very good in the diet management, so I have basically enrolled for the dietitian who keeps on basically pinching me. Okay, you should do eat this, you should do today. So she's helping me every day what you should eat. Okay, so that is basically I am seeing myself a little improvement, and hopefully down the line I'll start doing it myself. Time management, I am not able to manage the time. Okay, so whatever the task I allocate to myself, I am not able to allocate that. So that is also one of my weakness, and I am trying to improve upon by putting the timer, by properly analyzing this, and whatever the thought process you can think of. Health routine, I take the more breaks. So these are the few clues I am giving you, which you can pick up, okay, which is relevant to you, and find your true weakness. Okay, one thing we should remember, it is not finding the true weakness that matters. It is what is the plan that you are basically telling them for rectification that matters a lot. So it's a two-step process. First finding from here, second creating a plan for this. Correct? Now the next thing is I will tell my sample answers for me. So for an example, let's say so like if I want to say, I will say my greatest weakness is that I am a shy and have a fear of public speaking, due to which I have a difficult time speaking up in the bigger groups or gatherings. Even if I have a good ideas, I have a trouble asserting them. I'm not able to communicate properly. So this is my one of the weakness. Now what I have done, I decided this, okay, some few months back, that okay, let's sign up for the speaking course and practice to articulate my thoughts to my family, to my wife, to small kids, correct, in a very, very easy and concise manner. And I see like this process had helped me reduce my shyness up to greater extent. Okay, and now I have taken a challenge to create a YouTube channel to share my thoughts so that I overcome my fear of public speaking. Correct. So this is the simple answer which I have created. Correct. You can create your own and put me in the comment section what is yours after watching this video. Correct. So now this is the simple answer for this. So again, what is the greatest weakness? Okay, so how will you answer this? Again, the two-step process. One is confession, second is recovery. Okay, never ever say that you are perfectionist in the interview, correct? Because this is the worst thing to say, because everyone always uses this statement. So this strategy is known to everyone. Okay, so hopefully this video has given you good insight. Now the thing is, like, if you have liked this video, then Please help your friends by sharing this video so you can earn a very nice party once they crack this interview after watching this video. Thank you. And subscribe the channel, hit the like button so that you can get a more timely insight and more videos whenever they are getting released. Okay. Thank you. Keep watching. Such a lovely audience. Thank you.